Well, Fox News was first to report that warnings about the ISIS terrorist group were included in the president's daily briefing for more than a year. So why did those warnings seem to go ignored? Ambassador John Bolton telling Greta Van Susteren it is because the president does not see national security as a top priority.
And I have a feeling that the president simply wasn't paying attention, not just on ISIS and other threats in the region, but a whole variety of threats. Because I just don't think he is that interested in American national security. I don't think it's a priority for him.
Steve Hayes, a senior writer for the Weekly Standard and a Fox News contributor, joins us now. So do you agree with the ambassador there? Does the president not consider it a top priority? Is he just not interested?
Well, I do agree with the ambassador, and I don't think we have to trust Ambassador Bolton's judgments. I think we can go back to the way that the president campaigned for re-election in 2012 when he talked about returning to the United States, conducting nation building here at home, and in effect turning inward. He basically announced this to the country. I think it helped get him elected, and then he announced it to the world, and I think that's part of the reason that we're seeing the chaos and the crises around the globe that we're seeing today.
And what about these briefings? Have you heard anything in addition to the different military advisors who are telling us off the record that the president was advised in these daily briefings for at least the past year? And in fact, Mike Rogers was on Fox News Sunday, and he went so far as to say that there were military plans that were presented to the president as far back as 2011 to deal with this.
Yeah, terrific reporting by Catherine Herridge on that, particularly with respect to the PDBs, which are a closely guarded secret. The contents of those are a closely guarded secret. But it's totally consistent with everything that I've been told by military planners and intelligence personnel. The United States has had plans to deal with ISIS for months, if not longer, going back to the Syrian civil war. And the President of the United States, from everything I've been told, just hasn't asked for those plans. And the plans go beyond just a military component. They can include an economic component. They include political component. These are things that planners at CENTCOM have been working on for some time. The President just hasn't asked for something actionable.
There's a new poll that was just released by Pew Research, and it was USA Today as well. You may have seen it when it talked about people and how they feel about the president's role when it comes to foreign policy. Is he tough enough? And 54% of those people say no, he is not tough enough when it comes to foreign policy. Take a listen to something else that Ambassador Bolton had to say when it comes to perhaps awakening the sleeping giant.
Well, the American military is at the moment kind of a sleeping giant, and so is the American public in terms of public opinion about conflict and war. ISIS may get some propaganda points out of these hideous atrocities. I think the risk ISIS takes by doing these things and publicizing them in this way is it might awaken the sleeping giant.
Obviously, that is Britt Hume speaking there. So do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, I think it's happening. In fact, what's been interesting for me, just on a purely anecdotal level, over the past couple weeks, talking to just friends and acquaintances of mine who are not particularly political. These are not people who follow what's happening in politics on a daily basis, certainly aren't necessarily self-identified conservatives or liberals, but have a sense of growing alarm about what they're seeing on the nightly newscasts and what they're reading in the newspapers. Basically that the United States has lost control, that our ability to shape outcomes, to influence events overseas is on the wane because President Obama has failed to lead. I do think that's a growing sense. I think you're seeing that reflected not only in the poll that you mentioned, but in several other polls as well.
All right, Steve Hayes joining us. Thank you.